everyone, this is Juno from homeschoolingalong.com, and today we'll be taking a closer look at what we use for our kindergarten year. So let's get started. Okay, so this video will be going hand in hand with my article, How to Teach Kindergarten Easy. And we use the Abeka Phonics program for obviously our phonics, and then we use Matthew C for our math. And let's take a closer look. For the Abeka Phonics part, all you really need for K5, the essentials, are the phonics and reading, writing, and numbers curriculum lesson plans. And we will come back and look more into detail, but right now I just want to show you the list of things. These come with the parent, I believe, kit. And what they are, they're the miniature alphabet flashcards. They do sell the bigger flashcards. I just don't find them necessary. Mini alphabet flashcards. And they are included in their kit. So I am going to put this together. This is not included, but I highly recommend for you to purchase it. I think it's an extra $12 or $13. Basic Phonics Sound CD. And it goes hand in hand with their charts that come with their kit. And this is, for example, the charts for the short vowels. And this is the chart that goes hand in hand with their miniature. See, A is for apple. And so on. This is something that I drew. So the basic phonics CD goes hand in hand with their phonics chart. But the reason why I actually got it, it's because these charts, the phonics charts that goes over all the special sounds, I found it valuable that I put it into my CD player. My child sits down and he listens to the teacher say the sounds exactly as they are supposed to be pronounced. And it's a different voice than me. It's a change, and it works. So basically how it goes, he sits down and you listen, and it's k in duck, E in me, O in go. Sure, I could do it, but how boring would that be? And I am the type of person that anything that I can delegate to somebody else to do, I will. I'm the mother of 3 kids, and I need to run a household. So I find this invaluable, actually, and I highly recommend. All right, then we use Letter and Sounds K5. It comes with the child kit. Phonics. Writing with phonics, we use Manuscript K5. They also have the cursive version if that's what you want to do. We transition into learning cursive in 3rd grade. And then Think and Learn K5, which is basically a critical thinking little book. And kids have fun. They learn how to start drawing. They learn how to start cutting. They learn coloring. They learn a little bit of patterns and graphs. It's basic but very cute, and kids love it. And then the kit also comes with I Can Read Well, and this goes a little bit backwards how I have it set up, but it's I Can Read Well will be the end. I Do Read comes first, and I Learn How to Read actually comes first. So it's a sequence of little booklets that they will start reading once they learn how to blend. And as you can see, the very first one, there is a blend letter here. Bat, cat, mat, sat. And then they start from bat, and then they add the N sound, bat, cat, mat, sat. And then there is the word that goes with the picture. Very successful reading program. If there's anything that I'm a fan of Abeka, is their reading program. And the kit also comes with this My Blend and workbook. These are all things that come with the teacher and the student kit. So the only thing extra that I just showed you that you will have to buy extra is the basic phonics CD sound. This that I'm going to show you right now, these are called basic phonics flashcards, and they are another invaluable addition. So if you choose to go with a Becca K5, I highly recommend for you to buy these basic phonics flashcards. They go hand in hand with the phonics chart that I just showed you over here. All right, so they're color coded. Right now I have them backwards because I finished last year with my son. So the red one will go together, for example, with the red chart. And what they are, they're basically, the child sits there when they start learning their special sounds, and they will listen. I sit my child at the table and I put on the CD. The CD will read over the chart, and then I stop, and then I go and I pick the card that says K in duck, and basically it's probably going to be the first one. Let's see if I have any luck here. Yep. So, and then after he listens to it, I shut off the CD, I pick the big card and I show it to him, and I show him the special sound K in duck, and then I turn it around, K in neck, in back, and he will read all these words. Right now they're just trying to, in K5 they will learn their sounds, they will learn how to put them together, they will start learning how to read their basic books. All right, so out of everything for Rebecca, these are the essentials that you will need. And I do have 3 little boxes here. We will talk about that later. I don't find them essential but I have them here just to show you, and then you make your decision. Here is Matthew C for math, and all you will need is the teacher's set, the student book, and the blocks. I did not take it out, I forgot, but obviously Matthew C comes with a DVD because the lessons are taught by Mr. Demi, not me. That was the first reason why I decided to go with Matthew C. So let's get back to Rebecca. Let's look at the K5 teachers' lesson plans. A lot of people, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of people, have been saying, I don't need it. How hard can it be to teach kindergarten? If you are a teacher and you have used Rebecca before, then you can try it out. In all honesty, this lesson plan, curriculum lesson plan, tells you exactly how to use everything that comes with the kit. I don't follow it word by word, so I only use what I find necessary, and everything else is just extra work, because these were written with a school setting in mind. So if you're going to follow each and every direction they give you, like I did the very first time I taught kindergarten, you will be driving yourself bananas. But if you cut out all the extra fluff, you will find this to be very doable. So for example, I am going to look at lesson 17 because it's the one that we just recently finished. And it will start lesson 17, that's the beginning right here, and it will tell you this is your phonics part. It will tell you what to use, your letter picture flashcards. They are in the back of the book if you want to make copies and then show them. If you want the colored one, you can buy them extra at Rebecca. I decided not to do that, but it will tell you basically here the preparation, everything that you need, and the procedure. It will basically tell you what to do. Now, warm-up review, I don't do this. I'm going to be very honest. If I do every single thing that this book tells me to do, I would be here 8 to 5, okay? So warm-up review, I found it not to be necessary. I go straight into the instruction part, and it basically would tell you that you need the flashcard T, and that will bring you to this. And I will go and grab my flashcard T. And then we'll tell you letter picture flashcard for all vowels. So I will go here and grab my letter picture cards for all vowels. All right, you get the gist of this. And I will separate them and bring them all here. And then it will tell you how the parts in black, in bold, it will basically tells you how to teach. So it will basically, in this particular lesson, it teaches them how to blend the sound T with the sound of the vowel, of the short sound of A. So I will be doing t, at, and then I will teach them how to blend it into one sound type, almost, ta. With every single one of my children, that is the most difficult lesson to teach them because it's the very first time that they blend basically two sounds together. But once they get the gist of it, then it's just easy cruising along. All right, so it tells you step by step. It will tell you in your right hand, hold up the T card, having your child give sound 3 times. Turn the T card down, hold up the A card. So if it is your first time teaching kindergarten, it will literally give you step by step. Now, my advice, your instructions, yes, follow them to the T. However, your warm-up review, you're going to be here forever if you're going to do that. And, you know, your phonics review, what I do is I just look at the materials part and it tells me letter and sounds K5 page 13. That means that today we will be doing page 13 of my book, Letters and Sounds. And it will give you some instructions of how to do that page. And handwriting, I just quickly go through and I go look at my materials and it tells me, and it tells me that today we will be doing in the book Writing with Phonics, which is right here, Writing with Phonics. It will be page 14. I do not read through all of that because in this case, yes, I do know how to teach my child how to write his letters because let's be honest, this is how easy Writing with Phonics looks, okay? It gives you the dot where to start, it traces, and then they start doing it on their own. It is paper that it's already lined. This book is very self-explanatory, and it basically starts with all of their letters, and then they'll start writing their blends once they start learning the blends. And then they'll start writing their little 3-word letters, and they will end, let me go to the end, with writing sentences. This is my 3rd year using the Abeka Phonics program, and all of my kids learn how to read and write using it. It is wonderful. Yes, we did choose to start with manuscript. That was just my personal preference. Some people prefer to start right off the bat with cursive. They say it's easier. I don't know. I never did it. So I started with manuscript, and now with my eldest son, last year in 3rd grade, he is learning how to write in cursive. That's completely up to you. If you choose to write in cursive, go ahead. You can get your Writing with Phonics K5 in cursive. I got a manuscript. Okay, going back here. So after handwriting, there is going to be the numbers part right here. Now, we don't use the math, so obviously I completely skip this part. It doesn't apply to me. But if you do choose to use the arithmetic part of Abeka, then your math instructions will be in your K5 book. Okay, I do not do the parts in gray. This is all extra work, and if you have it in you, go right ahead. I tried the first year, and I completely burnt myself out. And then comes to find out that these lesson plans are really written with a school setting in mind, because they're used in private Christian schools. So that's why there's a lot of seat work and extra work and games and songs. I pick and choose. It's, you know, we take Our kindergarten lessons don't take more than half an hour if. So that's what a lesson using the Abeka Phonics program will look like. Let's take a look at our books now. Let's go back here where it says materials, letters and sound, K5, page 13. So after I do all the teaching, I go here and we will go to page 13. And although your lesson plans will give you instructions of how to use it, this is very self-explanatory as well. Match each picture to the vowel you hear in its name. Color the pictures. And basically I will tell my son, hen. And for your beginning child, you probably have to say he, e, n, and he will match it to the sound, to the letter E, that the short sound says e. So this is just an example of a cat, a, duck, a, dog, a. All right, and then the second part, circle the picture that begins with a T, toothbrush, X out the wagon, the ball doesn't start with tiger, and so on. All right, so that's an example of how the letter and sounds K5. In general, the kids will do 1 page a day, average, but there are days that they don't do letters and sounds, at least at the beginning. And then there's a very few days they will do 2, but like the days that they did 2 was, the days that they had to maybe do coloring. It's not overly done by any means. Writing with phonics. Writing with phonics is strictly 1 page per day, average mostly. The beginning, they don't even do it every day, and then it starts around the 2nd week, maybe 3rd week, to do a page every day. I showed it to you before. It is very self-explanatory, and they start tracing, and then they write, and you teach them. Abeka, you see these stairs over here? They basically teach them this is the 1st floor, this is upstairs, this is the basement. I teach my kids at the red line. If they go past that, they're putting roots. They find it funny and we giggle. So as soon as they pass it, like, ooh, I put roots, I have to redo it. And I already showed you, this is very cute. In some pages, they actually, they can also color, and kids actually look a lot forward to that after they're done doing their work. Okay. Think and Learn. Think and Learn is a very cute book. I actually did not buy it this year. I had went with something else, and then I missed it, so I went ahead and purchased it later on. And Think and Learn is basically a little critical thinking book. And for example, I just opened it here, page 17. The kid cuts out this picture, and then he has to put it in together to make the picture. Now, I don't have that page out. I don't have that page anymore, but there is a page here where the kids, towards the beginning, they learn how to cut. Obviously, I'm missing the page because he cut it out, but they do learn cutting if the child hasn't cut. For example, over here, this was the picture, what was missing. He had to find what was missing. He had to match the same color, and so on. So it gets them really thinking. It starts very basic, and it continues getting a little bit, they have to think a little bit more. They learn a little about tally marks. And then this is a cube that they will be cutting out and putting it together. Kids love doing that. There's also the picture of a dog. And oh my goodness, they learn how to step-by-step drawing. Actually, because of this, I ended up buying my children in 1st grade an Osborne, a step-by-step drawing. So it's a very cute little book. It's almost critical thinking, art, skills. It's definitely worth doing. And it doesn't really take that much. They don't do it every day. Maybe once or twice a week, and your lesson plans will tell you when to use it. All right, and we already talked about your charts that go hand in hand with your CD and your basic phonics flashcards. When I first started, I did not listen, and I did not have my CD. I did not have my basic flashcards. And I can tell you that pretty quickly I ended up ordering them because I realized, first of all, with my accent, I didn't know how to teach these sounds exactly as they needed to learn them. And it is, to me, listening to the CD, correctly learning how to pronounce them was priceless. All right, let's go to I Learned How to Read. This will be the first book. Obviously, your first book will be easier, very basic. As you see, they'll learn how to read little words. And then it will start, let me go into, then I Do Read. Will be, I think, a little bit more like little short stories. For example, the Red Hen. All right, they're very colorful, very cute. And then I Can Read Well. Obviously, they will be even a little bit longer. Here you go. All right. So it progresses as the child learns more and more. And then this is their My Blend and Word book. This is what they will be using. Oh, here's the blend ladders. If you do not buy the blend ladders, you really don't need them, but if you don't, you can use this little booklet, and they are colored. I didn't even remember, and I did this for 3 years. All right, and this is super, super interesting, engaging for the kids, and very effective. All right, that's it for the Abeka Phonics program. Simple, easy. It is actually not too expensive. Well, you know, compared to other ones, and definitely to me it's priceless because it works. Okay, now why do I have spelling you see here? It's kindergarten. You are absolutely correct. This is my first year attempting doing this, and I am not attempting to do this early. The reason why I got spelling you see A in the kindergarten year is because with my second child, he was ready, and he was starting to wanting to spell as he could hear them. He was starting, you know, to experiment on his own. So I purchased this in case this happens with my third child this year. Once he learns his blends, once he learns his 3-letter words, then if I see that he's ready, I might start doing this. The way that it is with these squares, it basically, you teach him the word wrap, and they already know. It tells them, oh, I have 3. Oh, the A is already here. What else? What's the beginning sound? What's the end sound? So I have it. If I see that my son, basically the second half of the year is ready, then I will use it because I absolutely love the spelling you see level B. Maybe the second part of this year. If not, I will use it next year. So that's the only reason you have it here. I successfully taught kindergarten to my first son, to my eldest child, and to my middle child without this. So don't feel like you have to. It is my 3rd time around this block, and that's why I got it. And I'm keeping it aside to see what type of child my third son is. And if he's ready, I'll start using it. If not, I'll use it next year. All right, let's move on to math. We were not fans of Abeka's arithmetic program, and you can read my blog to find out why. We have transitioned to using Math-U-See. When my eldest child was in 2nd grade, it has been a blessing. And Math-U-See comes with a DVD, which I cannot believe I forgot to take out. And my child watches the DVD. Obviously, I'm there right with him. He's in kindergarten. And the videos for the kindergarten year, for your primer year, are not short, super short. We're talking about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. He does a very good job on keeping it short. He knows that their attention span is the same as a hummingbird. So, yes, you can give it to me, Tony. Thank you. My middle child. Thank you, my love. All right, here's the DVD. All right, is it in? Ooh, yes. Okay. So, your instruction manual for primer, you will never use it. However, when you will need the DVD, and they come together, so just take it. And then when you have to resell it, you resell it. Your primer, we are on lesson 3. The books, if you have never used Matthew C before, they're not colorful. The child is who will make it colorful, part of their work, okay? And believe it or not, they love it. The reason why, actually, I did not go with Matthew C, because it was one of my first picks. The reason why I chose to go with Abeka's math and not Matthew C with my eldest son was because of the lack of color, believe it or not. I would look at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so boring and it's so thick. What are they thinking, right? Oh my gosh, it was the biggest mistake of my life. Kids do not care. Colors, yes, they're great, but guess what? All of my children prefer coloring themselves, make it colorful. And then you get to later grades like Delta, that they don't even care to color them much anymore, and they just want to get through their work. But yes, Matthew C, the primer begins teaching them that a number is basically an amount. So they will watch the first lesson. They will get their blocks right over here. Take their blocks. All right. He takes his little box and he puts it here. 1, 2. Where is 2? And he found 2 and he circled it. So basically they're starting to recognize what the numbers look like. They start putting together the numbers as amount of things. And it makes a connection in their brain. And they will be doing this the whole lesson. This is 6. They will put their 6 blocks. Then they will count them because they don't know there's 6 yet. You would be teaching them also. I find it very important how to teach them how to count instead of going all around, starting like how they will be learning how to read from left to right. So I take the hand and I make sure, and that only took about 2 lessons to get them into the swing of things. You can do as many worksheets as you need. My middle child flew through this book. He was done, I think, in 4 months, okay? He would do 5, 6 pages at once because he already knew his numbers, his amounts, not because I taught him, because he naturally learned by listening. My third child, he's smart as a fox, but he's going a little bit slower because he's not there yet. And it's perfectly fine. He's a little bit younger than when my middle child started. So we're going slower. You will adjust your pace. The great thing about homeschooling, nobody's chasing you. So you adjust to what your child needs are. All right, so that's for math. What does primer teach you? You can go look on my review of Matthew C. I review primer, alpha, beta, gamma, and delta will be coming at the beginning of the year, I believe. Okay? And if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe to my blog. So every time a new review comes out, a new article comes out, we'll email you to alert you. Other than that, we don't use your email for any other reason. Okay, why do I have these cards? Blend A, Blend B, and clue words. We are going back to Abeka. I did not have these with my first child who desperately needed them. And I was there doing my own. And he needed the extra work. He was very young when he started kindergarten. And I did not have them and I regretted it. So when my second child started kindergarten, I ended up buying these blends card. And guess what? My second child did not need them. And I never used them once. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you that Abeka has these blend cards. It's basically practice for your child to practice their blends. And they will start with the consonant and a vowel, the short vowel, then they have the long vowels, and then they have blends. Blend B is your special sounds and your vowels, and then you have clue words, which I never used either. My advice to you is don't buy them right off the bat. See if your child needs them. If your child does well without it, you save your money. if you find yourself writing those blends and getting burnt out, that you're spending all that time, then I think it's worth to spend the extra bucks and ordering them. And that's pretty much it. I think I went over everything, and I hope that this will be of a great use for you. I wish somebody had this out before I started. Keep on homeschooling along. Don't give up. It's worth it, and it gets easier. Have a great day.